Hi, I'm Jamie Sheen, and this is my submission for the Adventure Game project for Introduction to Game Development. And we'll start now, and you'll be able to see the landing screen first of all. Here we go. And as you'd expect from the landing screen, we do have the option to play the game, and then we have an option to quit the game. The background image you can see for the landing screen is one from the very first room of the game, and you will see it quite quickly once I press play. And here we are in the first room of the game. As you can see, there's plenty of materials in use, and I'll show you this blue material here on the pedestal is a material that I created myself with some luminescence used, and it emits this blue light, as does this orange material, which vice versa emits an orange light. All the other materials in use are these two and a few others that you'll see on similar pedestals are materials that I've downloaded from the Unity Asset Store. Okay, and as you can see, the central pedestal in this room, it's emitting light. This is done using an area light, which will be seen in several similar rooms throughout the game. As you can see, the player has the choice to go either left or right starting the game to explore the space station, as I've considered it. And as we go but if we go forward here, we'll see the eventual goal of the game, which is this door right here. Enable sector, it will lead us deeper into the space station, but at the moment it is inaccessible, as you'll see quite quickly here. It has a series of trigger volumes and collider volumes. The first trigger volume will detect how many key cards the player possesses. If they have less than 2, a collider volume will be present and will prevent their access and will trigger the audio you can hear. And so instead we'll have to move on and search for these key cards. And here we'll go to the right, and you'll see soon what lies in wait for us in this direction. Again, you can see all these materials used, a download from the Unity Asset Store. And I have a series of point lights going up these stairs here. And as I haven't stated previously, but as per the brief, everything is created, all the rooms are created using ProBuilder, as are these stairs. I'll go up these stairs now and show you what lies beyond. And coming up here now, we have our element of AI in the game. This is a model download from the Unity Asset Store called Space Robot Kyle. And he possesses a script which, using a custom field of view, upon the player entering this field of view, Kyle will flee to a predetermined point following its baked navigation. And once it reaches this point, you'll see what happens. I'll press play. And here you see Kyle flee. And we'll pursue and see what he leads us to. And here you have one of the rooms which holds the key cards, there being 2 in total. And at this point, Kyle is gone. You can't see him anymore. That's because the navigation that I mentioned previously has led Kyle into this spike trap. And Kyle has died and is now removed from the game. Oh, and as I failed to mention previously, but there's the music in the background, something I've downloaded online and included in the game, and which will be referenced, of course, in my game design document. And it attempts to deliver this kind of synthwave sound with a slightly eerie atmosphere, and I think it really fits the game quite well. And here the player will have to jump and avoid the spike trap to get the first of 2 key cards. And you'll soon hear this pickup sound once it's key cards collected. But I don't want to quite complete the game quite yet, I want to in fact die so I can show you the game over screen. And here we go. Short sound, and here's the game over screen. Similar to the initial landing screen, this screen just allows the player to play again from the start or quit the game, and the images is similar to the image seen in the Spike Room itself, with slightly different material in use. And the player can choose to play again, and here we go. You'll see we're at the same point we were earlier. This time I'm going to go to the left to show you what lies in this direction. Again, you can see those area lights under this central panel. And we'll go forward, and you see this room here, the room you saw earlier. I'm not going to quite venture into it, but this is the room with the locked door. And I'm going to move back. And here to the right, again, we have our second of 2 key cards. And again, as you can see, one of the materials I've created on this pedestal, green material this time, emitting light. And you get the second key card, and we're head back towards the door. And again, you can see, although I've collected 1 key card, this door is still locked, as the sound will indicate. And now, before I go any further, I'm going to skip the process of getting the other key card found upstairs, because you've seen it already. And we're going to be brought right back here with 2 key cards in possession. And now, once we walk up to the door, the trigger volume will run the script to detect how many key cards we have. And once it finds out that we have 2, the collider volume will be deactivated, and we'll enter a third volume, a trigger volume this time, which will trigger an animation and lead us access further beyond the door. There you go. Opening sounds. Collider will triggered alongside the animation. And here you have the end goal of the game. And firstly, you'll see this pit. Just like the spike pit seen earlier, if the user falls into this pit, they'll die and the game over screen will be triggered. But we won't actually see this in this game, in this playthrough, I should say. And instead, we're going to step onto this moving platform here with this blue central point, which triggers the actual movement of the platform. And this platform behaves quite simply. It triggers, once the player sets on the center point, the blue lit up blue, it activates a collider volume, which will be put in place to prevent the user falling off. And the platform will move over through animation to the other side of the pit. And here you'll see the end goal, this item, which will trigger the end of the game once we step into this room using a trigger volume. And you can see the particle effects in use all over this room, and emitting this yellowish light. And here you'll hear the winning tone, and you'll get the screen which says you won, and it just says yes. And I'd like to thank you now for playing this game. I don't think I stated before, but it's called Star Raced. And I hope you enjoyed playing it as much as I enjoyed making it. And thank you very much.